Are you ready?
In my first impressions video on Touhou Lost Word, I mentioned that the game's UI is, quite frankly, awful. In this video, I just want to expand about some of the things that makes the game's UI awkward to navigate and in some cases, outright annoying. Let's start at the shop. Opening it has you start on the premium currency page. That may seem like a small thing, but the problem is that there is no information in the game that tells you that the Shrine Office button leads you to the coin and token shop. For my first couple of days playing, I had no idea that those shops even existed. There is no real reason for it to be like this. It would be better to have the Shrine Office button be bigger or better labeled, or just separate the two shops into different buttons on the main menu. Next is the Friends menu. Now there is something about this that I like. When going to use a material for upgrading, you can see which stages drop the material, and that's fairly useful. On the other hand, the Enhance menu doesn't show me how much of each wood material I have. I need to go back to the main menu and select the Items button at the top right to do that. The Equip menu lets you assign story cards to your spell cards, but the game never tells you that in the tutorial, so I had no clue what the Equip button was for until I just randomly decided to click on it. This game also doesn't auto-lock the first copy of a unit you get, which means it's entirely possible that you can accidentally sell them. They do it for story cards, so why doesn't it also apply to units? Speaking of locking, you have to select the unit and then lock them from there. For comparison, in FGO, there's a dedicated lock button on the CE and servant selection screens. Now for story cards. The biggest problem is that you can't select multiple copies of a story card while limit breaking them. This just makes the entire process slow and awkward since you have to press multiple times before you can select another copy. Another issue is the selling screen. It doesn't display locked story cards, which sounds fine, but in practice you have to go between each screen to make sure you have a max limit broken copy and locked it before selling them. You can choose to display cards that are equipped, so why can't I display locked ones? Just have them grayed out, not to mention the fact that you can only sell 10 story cards at a time. Finally, let's take a look at the battle screen. There's not too much wrong here per se, but there are just a few small things that I dislike. When you select an action for your character, the game doesn't display which option you picked. This may seem like a bit of a nitpick, but it's incredibly easy to fat finger spell cards, so some indication of what spell card or attack I selected would help avoid that kind of situation. So I didn't write this in this script. This was something I just happened to discover right now while I'm recording the video. Did you know that this game has a double speed button? It's displayed in the menu. I had no idea this was here, and it would have made event farming so much quicker. Is there any reason this isn't displayed on the main screen? Why do I have to go into the menu? It's kind of out of its way. At least in a game like FGO, the double speed button is at least almost always visible. This just seems like a weird decision. Now these are just some of the things that I noticed. If there's something I left out, make sure to leave a comment down below. Naturally, this doesn't mean I hate the game or anything. I still really like the game. It's just that there are a lot of small issues here and there that kind of bog down the experience. I'd like to see some of these addressed, and maybe if you guys leave comments too on what you guys think are very egregious errors, I'd like to see those addressed as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My next Touhou Lost Word video should be coming out on the 3rd or the 4th. Whenever the Suika banner comes out, I'm going to be rolling on that, because I do like Suika quite a bit as a Touhou character, you know. So see you guys later.